Hey, this is Nico, and this is an introduction to a longer video that I'm doing to sort of explain to me the three main parts of the compost system I have. So, the ingredients, what materials I use, the system itself, which is essentially a lot of layering. I'll do a demo of that. And the final part, which is the sifting, maybe adding vermiculture, talking about how I get the compost ready to use. A little bit of my background. I'm a biochemist, former microbiologist, baker. I've been living overseas for about the past 12 or 13 years, doing compost since about 2006. And I'd say overall, my interest is to maintain the value of food waste because if it's taken directly from the kitchen, to me, there are like active nutrients in the food waste, and the longer it degrades the value of it. So maintaining that value of food waste as it moves along from food waste into compost, and even slightly increasing it as it turns into plant food. Anyway, thanks. Peace, everybody. All right, so I just wanted to go over basic materials I use for this compost system I designed in Hanoi. I've been here a little over a month. So we use these plastic bins. They each cost $5 to $6, I guess, including top. So that's about 25 bucks worth of bins right there. These are a couple bucks each. Use those for mixing and for topping the bins. And sometimes they use a lid, depends. Anyway, this is the oldest. You'll see compost. No smells, no flies. Everything's really well layered. I can go over that system later, how I do it. This is the newest. You'll see a little bit of food. More ingredients. I buy this soil on the local market. It's like finished compost, I think. It's like about $4 a bag. One other ingredient I use a lot, I'll walk over here. This is composting, but I use the soil in there. So when I first arrive to a place, I'll look around if I have soil from like plants that were here. I'll show you where I get most of my soil. So I use this soil and mix it with that bagged compost I buy. This stuff, right? Yeah, I use that. So those are the ingredients. Next videos, I'll show more how I do it, the layering, and then I'll finish off with the finished compost. All right, thanks. Hey, so this is Nico. I'm gonna go and give a demo of how I layer the food waste to make it not interesting to pests and to get it breaking down super fast. So I'm behind the camera, but I'm gonna jump in front of it right now. So the ingredients are cardboard. This is store-bought compost. This is my own compost. And food waste. So we start with a bit of cardboard. I layer, it depends how wet the compost is, but mine's pretty wet. We eat a lot of veggies in our house. We have a nice basic cardboard. Also makes it easier to deal with. It's not so soggy. I grab it with my hands. And I don't know if you can see, there's a wash bucket over here. I use rainwater or whatever I can, not to reuse water. I rinse my hands, get the compost off, and then wash them with soap and water later. All right, that's good enough. I'm gonna drop, let's see, some old compost first. And a little base of that. A little of this. It's very dry, this stuff, huh? So, just good to know. You want to maintain moisture levels pretty good so the critters can work. I'm gonna dump all of this, all right? Again, we eat a lot of veggies, so that's a lot of veggies. My wife makes tea. So now I'm gonna wrap that again with a bit of cardboard. And then I'm gonna put old compost and that store-bought compost on top. That's probably enough. My man. It's nice and black, but it's very dry, so again, just maintain moisture levels. And I'll put a top on this when it's done, so it'll cook nicely. It'd be good to have air holes, but I have more stuff coming. I don't have a drill or anything right now, so I'm just trying to like put the top on to allow air in. So that's pretty good. Everything's covered. I don't get any pests in here. Like 5 or 6 weeks, people tell me there are rats here, but I haven't seen them. They don't come for this stuff. So yeah, that's it. Just top that. I can probably do another layer of a full bucket of food waste, and then once it's pretty good, it moves into one of these buckets over here. All right. Peace, folks. Hi, folks. So this is the last part of the stepwise approach, or my stepwise approach to doing compost here in Hanoi, Vietnam. I'll show you briefly what the things are. I'll do a sifting demo, then I'll show final sifted compost and worms I pluck from the ground. All right, so this is the finished compost. I'm going to put that there. It's a modified sifting apparatus, so basically a tub and some mesh wire I got from a local hardware store. Super cheap, everything. This is the stuff I don't use. I'll put it back into the compost and see if it. Eventually, I use that stuff. I put it on trees or whatever, but it's like bulky. All right. That one over there is finished sifted compost, which I'll show later, and that worm trying to escape, I'll show before I finish. All right, let me knock that worm down real quick. Get down, buddy. I'll show you later. Okay. So what I do. Let's put a couple spoons over here of this one. We sift it. Let's see. One more. Usually I make a better sifter, but I don't have any of my apparatus. So I'm just doing what I can. You can just mix it around like that. That's actually an easy way to do it. Or lift it. Let's see, lift it, give it a shake. Yeah, there you go. There we go. Okay, and we'll add it to the other bin of final sifted. This can go, I can put it back in there actually. Sift more later, put that to the side. All right, look. Pull that stick out, look at that. Gorgeous black gold. I mix it to this. Look at this. Good for plants. Plants will be very happy with that. And one final thing. So I usually I like to mess with vermiculture as well. And I use worms from the ground. I'll probably add these guys. See those worms over there? To like close to finished compost with some cardboard and see if they start propagating. That's what I do. I tried a few trials, but I think the worms left or something. But anyway, overall, I'd say happy composting to everyone. And yeah, always ping me for any questions about the methods or things like that. Peace, folks.